Hey YouTube, welcome to BigLockDaddy's Garage. In today's video, we're going through my first time welding. We're gonna see how that turned out. I've never welded anything before in my life. I went ahead and got this little ditty right there from Harbor Freight. I'm gonna take you through it all in the video here. So, like and subscribe for more great content. Enjoy the video. So here we have my trip to Harbor Freight, where I'm basically just going out and buying all the equipment I'm going to need to do the welding that you're going to see coming up here. And keep in mind, I've never done this before in my life. Here you can see me picking out my Flux 125 welder. They had a couple left on the bottom side of the rack. There's also some other welding machines there that don't look half bad for what I'm getting ready to do. This one seems just fine. I knew what I was looking for, so I grabbed it and keep on moving. Now we're looking for a wire. One thing that I found was that I don't know that much about welding and welding wire, but I did read, as you can see on top of the wire, the spools themselves, it tells you what kind of wire it is, MIG, TIG, and you can see here at the end, I've kind of found myself some Flux Core welding wire, the 2-pound variety, which 0.030, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So we get ready to move on, and with the welding and the wire, the welder and the wire, you're gonna need a helmet. So I basically went to the helmet section. I had a coupon. God, that's why I love Harbor Freight, man. You can find nice little deals on this. This little welding helmet right here was normally 50 bucks. I got it for 40. So yep, that goes in the cart. Then you move down the aisle a little bit, and you're gonna need something to protect your hands, and there's no doubt about that. So looking at these welding gloves, you have your standard $5.99 welding, you know, rawhide, cowhide, whatever you want to call it, leather gloves. I saw the nice Vulcan gloves, so I started looking at stuff like that too. You got welding sleeves there, anything you need to weld. I mean, it's all right there. That's why you gotta love Harbor Freight. So I decided on the pair of Vulcan welding gloves, and I'm glad I did. I also wound up picking me up a welding cart to hold the welder. I chose their standard $40 cart, on sale for $37.99. Again, can't beat Harbor Freight. And I'm ready to go. So it's time to head up front, make my purchases, and get on out of here, which I did. You know, I live about 30 minutes away, so it was a nice quick trip out to the parking lot, and you load the stuff into your car. And I'll tell you what, you gotta love the feeling that you have when you're tackling something new, and you got your gear, you got everything you need, you have no idea what you're doing, but you know you have pretty much the basics to just go ahead and get yourself started. I grabbed one of those Harbor Freight flyers. Not a lot of good deals in there. That's the one you can find in the store. And I found, for my purposes, that there was absolutely nothing in that catalog I would have bought. But there's my haul, so we take it home. As you can see there, I got my welding cart, my welding gloves, my welding helmet, everything ready to roll. So here we go. So what I realized here was that the spool was on too tight, so I have to loosen up that little nut on top of the spool. Hey, stuff happens. Every now and again, you gotta kind of just roll with it. These are the growing pains of dealing with something like this, so I go ahead and loosen up the nut, and it's time to try again. Now the spool is still too tight. I loosened the nut up a little bit the first time, and I thought that would take care of things, but again, I also have my feed speed turned down. I went by the recommendations on the box, so here you see me cranking it up a little bit. You can see this, it's feeding a little better. The spool seems to be doing alright, so now we're going to go for take 3. Not the best. Now, if you're a fan of Cleetus McFarland, you know right now he's over in Australia with his car Toast and James and Coop, and they had to replace the engine in Toast, and along with that they had to replace some of the exhaust as well. And these are the welds that you can see here, what they did on the spot real quick versus my welds that you see here, my first time doing it, so not too shabby. So as you can see here, what I'm doing is knocking the slag off of my welds. I want to make sure they're clean because what I'm about to do is go back and hit all the little trouble spots that I had, anywhere where I might have missed, anywhere I couldn't see. With that auto darkening helmet, it was a little bit different and difficult to see at certain times, being my first time and all, but you want to make sure you got a nice good seal all the way around, solidify your joints so they don't come apart while you're going down the track or even just driving on the road. And that's what I'm doing here. Now I think this is the point where I really started to feel like I was starting to get a good handle on things as far as welding technique. You know, you want to make little circles, kind of like you're making that cursive E, and you want to make it down. It's a little different when you're working on curved pipe as opposed to flat metal, bar stock, whatever you have there. Because what you can do is, what I realized I wasn't doing was making my circles and trying to control my pool or my puddle and work it down the seam as I needed to do. I felt like I would just get you know, a little pool going and start pulling it down, rather than taking the time to kind of spread it out, make sure it connected to both sides of the metal. I had a good ground going there, but I really feel like I was starting to hit my stride as far as figuring out how to initially start doing this. Even there, I picked the piece up and I'm welding in my hand, you know, all willy-nilly, freestyle, free willy, however you want to call it. But I really felt like I was starting to get more of a handle. The flash wasn't getting me too much. Even when the auto darkening helmet actually kicks on, the first time it did, I was like, oh, what happened? Felt like the power went out. So it was really interesting. But yeah, here it is. I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up again, knock the slag off of it, and call her done. Not great, but not too bad for never done it before. Well, she's a little rough, but not too bad. First time ever. Never even tried welding anything before in my life. Never even touched a welder. Till now. see some stuff on here where I kind of missed. Got on top of the pipe. I wanted to start on this side and work my way over, but I wound up hitting a lot over here. So, not too bad. There's a good spot. But hey, there you go. This is going to be the newest piece to my driver's side exhaust. And that's about the size. Not too bad. $200 welder from Harbor Freight. Can't beat it. But I definitely need some practice. That's what it is. So we'll practice up some more. Weld some more of these together. Maybe I have to go back and fix that up a little bit once I get a little better. What you can see here is you can kind of see where I didn't quite get it right where I wanted it. I didn't get the penetration I wanted. It's just kind of stuck to the surface. Whereas right here you see some penetration. Right there we got penetration, so we'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. But first you don't succeed, try again. Thanks a lot. I'm BigLockDaddy. See you next time.